Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sentinel. Pardon my appearance. I'm traveling again, but I came across an announcement by the Marine Corps regarding the appointment of Major General Valerie Jackson as Commander, U.S. Marine Forces, Korea. And I wanted to just discuss her background and let you decide if this appointment as a new commanding general from all Marine forces in Korea makes sense. To me, it doesn't. Bottom line up front. Because she's not qualified, and it has nothing whatsoever to do with the gender. So let's just talk about her background. So she graduated from Boston University in 1994 through the Naval ROTC program, went to TBS, and then was appointed as a communications officer in the Air Wing. And she completed that tour, then went to MCT, Marine Combat Training, and SOI, School of Infantry, worked there as a company officer. Then in 1999, she went into the Marine Corps Reserves, and that's fine. That's good. But then she took charge of the Marine Corps History Division and worked there, and then eventually was promoted to lieutenant colonel. Then as lieutenant colonel, she deployed to Afghanistan in a civil military officer capacity, doing plans for civil military operations, and came back to the U.S. from Afghanistan. Worked in the G6 in the Marine Air Wing. From there, she went to the 4th Civil Affairs Group and commanded that. And then after that, she went to Headquarters Marine Corps as Deputy Director of Information Plans Operations. And she was selected to Brigadier General and sent to the Combined Joint Task Force Horn of Africa as Deputy Commanding General. After that, she was promoted to Major General and was the Commanding General of the 4th Marine Logistics Group. And most recently, she's been made commander of all U.S. Marine forces in Korea. And in my mind, she's not qualified to command all Marine forces in Korea. I mean, she has no command experience. She has no, per se, combat experience. Yeah, she went to Afghanistan as a civil military plans officer, working for the 2nd MEB. But she has no actual combat experience. And this is another great example of the previous episode that we did of why do our generals suck. They suck because they don't have the troop experience. Now, think about this. So now China is supposed to be our peer competitor. They're supposed to be our greatest threat. They're supposed to be our strategic priority in terms of our national security. And she plays an active role in all this. What happens tomorrow if the United States and China go to war, or if China decides to invade Taiwan and the United States goes to the assistance of Taiwan? She is going to be playing a very active role, because just a few weeks back, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth talked about the criticality of U.S. bases in Korea and how important they are to being able to blunt China and to defend the Pacific. So my question to the senior leadership in the Marine Corps and also in the Department of Defense is, how the hell did we come up with this person? Didn't we have anybody else more qualified with actual command experience to be able to command all U.S. Marine forces in Korea, or perhaps somebody that can even speak the language of Korean or Mandarin that knows the region? We couldn't find anybody. And trust me, this has got nothing whatsoever to do with gender. I really don't give a shit about gender. I care about, what's the background as an individual, and do they have sufficient command time to be able to handle the responsibilities, not only in peacetime, but in case we go to war. Now, we didn't learn our lessons from the debacle in Afghanistan. Now, if you hearken back to the Kabul withdrawal and the debacle there, so what happened there was commander of U.S. Marine Forces in Central Command was Marine Lieutenant General Sam Mundy. I happen to know him. Great officer, fantastic infantryman, right? So he was told to retire because the Marine Corps didn't want the component commander build to be a 3-star build. Okay, I understand that. So they downgraded to a 2-star build, and they send this Major General Rock to take over that position. Now, we all known for a couple of years that this withdrawal has happened because, President Trump, when he was the 45th president of the United States, agreed to withdraw from Afghanistan. So everybody knows this thing is happening. And right in the middle of the withdrawal, we changed the component commanders. This is the type of thinking that Dave Berger, the Commandant of the Marine Corps, was putting out. Absurd, absolutely absurd. So not only do they put a new component commander in there who happens to be an aviator, and that's, and we can have a side discussion on that, but this guy is clueless about Afghanistan. And so while this is all going on, they sent him back to Quantico to go sit on a promotion board. I mean, you got to be shitting me. You got Marines deploying to Afghanistan. He should have been forward where he belongs, but he's sitting in Quantico. And it's not going to work. And now we've done the same mistake again. We put a major general out there, a reserve officer who doesn't have the experience, who's never led troops on a large scale, and has no freaking clue about what the hell's going on if we go to war with China. All the Marine forces that are in Korea are going to fall under her command, are going to be supporting the MAR-4 pack as a component commander. So my point is, our generals need to start thinking. They need to think deep and start making decisions that are combat related, and really, pick and choose people that we want to lead our sons and daughters. This one is, quite frankly, I don't know how it slid by Pete Hegseth, and I don't know, what the process is, but somebody's sleeping on the switch, or maybe they're just distracted with all these parades and all this other horse shit going on, rather than focusing on the mission. And and Eric Smith, the commandant of the Marine Corps, should know better. He claims to be, hey, I'm an infantryman, rah rah, and all this, tough guy bullshit. But then you appoint a two-star with no experience, who happens to be a woman, to be in charge of all the U.S. Marine forces in Korea, one of our priority theaters. Makes no sense to me. Maybe I'm off base here. If I am, please tell me. We want the type of leadership for our sons and daughters that we experienced during World War II, when you had guys like General Gavin jumping out of aircraft with the 82nd Airborne, Ridgway doing the same, wearing a grenade, and then you had people like Brigadier General Roosevelt and Brigadier General Cota that actually went across Normandy beaches on D-Day. Think about that. You'd never see that shit nowadays. I read a comment that somebody left on the previous episode about he was doing an operation with Iraqi forces, and the commanding general happened to drop in. And as soon as the firefight started, the commanding general bailed out. I mean, you got to be shitting me. I mean, if I was a commanding general, I'd be, rallying the forces. Let's go. That's the type of leadership we want, and that's the type of leadership we demand. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And if I'm off base, please tell me. And that's all I got. Stay rugged, stay united, con out.